2020 has been a year to forget for the film industry, but this week one of the most daring sci-fi thrillers hit shelves. Be ready to pick up the pieces of your brain because this week we're reviewing Christopher Nolan's Tenet. I'm Nick, welcome to this week's Insanity. In a year that's proven so difficult, Christopher Nolan's latest cerebral thriller Tenet has stood tall as a shining light for the depleted film industry. Starring John David Washington and Robert Pattinson, Tenet mixes wall-to-wall action with high-concept storytelling in the only way Nolan could.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too. Use it carefully.
The first thing that hits you in this film is John David Washington's performance. Tenet is a movie that needs a strong lead, and Washington proves he is more than up to the task. We saw in BlacKkKlansman that he is a very capable lead actor, but it's his role in Tenet that cements him as a force to be reckoned with. He has memorable co-stars in both Robert Pattinson and Elizabeth Debicki. Their characters help guide Washington's protagonist through the film as he, just like us, attempts to make sense of the world around him. Like Nolan's previous films, we are tied intimately to the main character. In Inception, Elliot Page guides us through that movie. In Memento, Guy Pearce does the same. So when Washington is thrust into a foreign world, we are too, connecting us to the story in a truly special way.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
I'm not saying Armageddon here.
No. Something worse.
Now it would be an understatement to say this movie is big. Tenet is jammed full of plot, but what's more, its massive amount of action is simply out of this world. From its extravagant filming locations to its spectacular set pieces, Tenet is a movie guaranteed to keep you glued to the screen, no matter what.
Your duty transcends national interests. This is about survival.
Seems bold.
Bold, I'm fine with. I thought you were going to say nuts.
This is where our worlds collide.
How would you like to die?
Old.
You chose the wrong profession.
Tenet is not a movie you can pop on for background noise. Instead, Tenet rewards you when you pay attention. Luckily, this is not hard. The level of detail Nolan gives us in Tenet is simply extraordinary. Pair that with another collaboration with cinematographer Hoyte van Hoytema, and Tenet becomes a movie you simply can't take your eyes off.
Well, that from here.
Hasn't happened yet.
There are people in the future who need us. I need Tenet.
We need to save them here and now.
It's reversing the flow of time. Doesn't us being here now mean it never happened?
To say Tenet is a perfect movie, though, is a bit too extreme. Ultimately, this film is about saving the world, and that's kind of where it hits a few bumps. Kenneth Branagh does an admirable job portraying the evil satyr, but his evil plan doesn't really make any sense. When you really think about it, his motivation for destroying all of time itself is frankly childish. The idea that if I can't have it, no one can, is something that most 5-year-olds grow out of by the time they hit year 3. So to have the whole plot of a movie hinge on someone with this idea is a bit disappointing.
He can communicate with the future.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Whoa. Well, I've seen too much.
Well, we'll try and keep up.
Tenet epitomizes cinema. It's big, it's bold, and it's pure escapism. In a year where we didn't get that many movies, I for one am glad that we got to see Tenet. It'll stick with you and spark many debate about who actually gets it. And if that isn't a sign of an iconic movie, I don't know what is.
You want to crash a plane?
But not from the air. No, it's so dramatic.
Well, how big a plane?
That part is a little dramatic.
What did you think of Tenet? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest in family entertainment. See you next time.